Hello and a very good evening to you. I'm Lisa Broom. Thank you very much for joining us. Well, the 2022 hurricane season is well underway. And as you may know, we've been tracking a system to the east of us over the last few days. Now, joining us live to talk to us a little bit more about that system, where it is now, is the director of the Barbados Met Services, Sabu Best. Good evening, Sabu.
Good evening, Lisa, and good evening to all of Barbados. Okay, so I know you've been receiving a lot of information statements from us the past few days, and there's some questions that persons want to know about the system. And so I want to give you a more in-depth explanation of what's going on and what to expect. First off, on the satellite imagery you have in the background here, on the left, you can see I have a marker where Barbados is, a red marker, and down to the right, bottom right, this close approximation, we have the center around 5 p.m. of the system, which is around 8 north and 44 degrees west. That's about 1,760 kilometers to our east-southeast. From the satellite imagery, you can see it looks really disorganized, and it has been disorganized for most of its lifetime. Yes, albeit yesterday it looks a lot better than yesterday in terms of organizational structure, but as it is right now, it's still disorganized. We expect that the system will continue to move towards the west at around 50 miles per hour over the next day or two. There is expected to be a slightly north of west motion when it gets on Monday past 50 degrees west or so. And the current projections are that the center, if it does eventually close off a tighter center, should pass somewhere closer to Tobago or just north of Tobago come late Tuesday afternoon into the night. What that means for Barbados. Okay, so there's still a little bit of haziness between haziness. One model is suggesting the system developing into a tropical depression, a weak tropical storm, and some models open it up to a wave. Each system, like ELSA, is different. They have their own characteristics. They're different. And this one is having its difficulty with the environment, and also when it tracks towards the west, we're seeing different behaviors from model to model. So the impacts for Barbados, the most concerning thing right now is from the marine perspective. And we are forecasting swells peaking somewhere between 3 to 4 meters within the Barbados marine area come Tuesday afternoon. These swells will mostly impact the eastern sections of the island. When you say eastern sections, like St. Andrew area, St. Philip, southeastern parts of the island, and southwestern parts of the island to a lesser extent. The western parts of the island, such as the Whole Town area, Speightstown, will be in a more sheltered area from the swells coming from the east. So, although we will be issuing a small craft advisory at 6 p.m. for above normal sea swells on Tuesday, there's no tropical storm watch, no warning in effect for Barbados. Therefore, there's no need at this point to be hauling boats out of the water. However, I want to stress something here. Like I said before, each system is different, and we have to continue to monitor the system closely with us, especially into tomorrow, Monday, and very early Tuesday. Now, with these kind of swells coming on the eastern side of the island, the recommendation from the Met Office is for one, smaller vessels can be taken off the water very easily, no later than Monday evening, or two, if it's easier to transport the vessels around to the western side of the island, such as the Whole Town area, north of Brighton Beach area, where it will be more sheltered in those areas. We don't anticipate swells to be very large in those areas at all as the system passes to the south. So just to repeat, swells around 3 to 4 meters on Tuesday afternoon into the night, associated with the system that passes towards the south. The western sides of the island will be a more sheltered area, so therefore smaller boats can easily go into those areas and find much calmer waters, I should say, or into the bay areas such as Port St. Charles, even where the Bridgetown port is. It'll be a lot better in those areas. Just to repeat the position, 8 degrees north, 44 degrees west. The center is elongated. We've been looking at visible imagery from the MESO scan all day today, along with some AirSCAP passes, and it's fairly elongated. So the best position for the center we can put right now is 8 degrees north, 44 degrees west. Back to you.
Right, Sabu. So then this is just for some clarity. I heard you talking about the swells and the part of the island that that would affect, but you didn't mention wind and rain activity. What is the possibility for that?
Yeah, we wanted to get onto the swells. I wanted to emphasize the swells first off because obviously it takes a lot of time for the planning and getting things rolling for the mariners, etc. But your question is a good one. What about the winds? And so far, the predictions set for winds somewhere between 30 and 40 miles per hour on Tuesday afternoon. We're more leaning towards the lower end of that scale as it stands, but I have to give you the range of the possibility. And that possibility, like I said, is 30 to 40 miles per hour. What does that translate to? That's not as strong as Elsa, no. If some of us can remember Kirk a few years ago, that's around Kirk's intensity, Tropical Storm Kirk. But nowhere like Hurricane Elsa that we had last year. However, we still have to monitor the situation.
Yeah.
It is important because
right.
things can change. This is not concrete.
Agreed.
So we're predicting 30 to 40 miles per hour. It looks like, from the looks of things, and its current structure, the fact that it's not well organized and it's slowly coming together and it's elongated, and even the wind data that have around the system, the winds are not very strong at this point. And so we're leaning more towards the lower end of that spectrum of 30 miles per hour or so. But the range is 30 to 40 miles per hour. And we need to be ready in case we do get the upper end of that spectrum.
Right. And you also mentioned, based on the coordinates that you mentioned, something about it being closer to Tobago. If we are to be affected by anything other than the swells, which part of the island could we potentially expect anything?
With respect to the swells, that's which going to bring it a lot closer for you. That would be the eastern side of the island, like coming down from eastern side, St. Peter, St. Andrews, St. John, St. Joseph, those areas. But the kind of swells that you get on those areas is not an unusual thing. And those areas can actually handle those kind of waves, to be honest, because of the slope of bathymetry, etc. It's the western side of the island that can't. But the good thing is, like I said, those swells are coming from the east, so it's not going to be a problem for the western side of the island. And so boats and the small vessels on the western side of the island, once you're in a nice bay area, you should be fine. The seas may look a little choppy with gusty winds and heavy showers that may pass through time to time, but it's not going to be anything like what's on the eastern side of the island, the southeastern side of the island, and to some extent the southwestern side of the island, because the system passes to the south, and we get on the backside, then some of those swells and waves will come up on the southwestern side of the island. By tomorrow afternoon, when our nearshore model starts to simulate the waves coming into the bay areas, we'll be able to give you some more precise information about which bay areas would get what kind of swell heights, etc.
All right, so now we're focusing on that system that we're expecting around Monday, Tuesday. But I also know that we were supposed to expect some weather today. Can you give us an update on that?
Yeah, so there's a tropical wave around 58 degrees west or so right now that's passing through. Actually, we had an aggressive shower that literally just rolled across the island. We had 42 miles per hour wind gusts just past here at the airport. These showers are going to be in and out, so it's nothing real significant there's nothing really to worry about. Just enjoy the showers. We really need them. Yes, they would have been a little bit gusty with the heavy shower, but that's anticipated. And to be honest, what we just had with that heavy shower is probably going to be a little similar to when that system passes to our south. Currently, I mean, we didn't mention about the precipitation, but I'll mention about that now. Gun is not suggesting that it's going to be any excessive precipitation at this point in time. Although we have the precipitation alert level set at yellow, in case as we go along it changes, we anticipate about somewhere between 1 to 3 inches. And going on the 3 inches seems a little generous at this point in time, given its current structure, how it looks. And so what we experience today is probably going to be similar to what we're going to experience Tuesday afternoon into the night. Maybe a little more frequent, a little more gusty.
Okay, so just to recap very quickly, the system that we're expecting over the next 2 days, where is it and what's happening with it? Just very quickly.
Sure, it's around the center, it's elongated, so it's not a very tight sun-centric system. It's around center around 8 degrees north, 44 degrees west. That's about 1,760 kilometers to the east-southeast of Barbados. It's very ragged. On satellite imagery, it's not very well organized. You can see that. And is moving towards the west, near 15 miles per hour. Come on Monday, late Monday, it should accelerate in its forward speed towards the west or slightly north of west and pass the center. Remember, we're talking center, it's not the whole system. The center should pass to the south of Barbados, probably closer to Tobago or so. And now, I just want to repeat, that's the center. Let's not only focus on the center. There are going to be winds on the northern side of the center that's going to be pretty windy. For sure, Tuesday is going to be windy. That's a definite. The range, 30 to 40 miles per hour. 40 is the upper end. But it's looking like it may be more around 30, 35. But I have to give you the range in case the system does develop and intensify as it comes down to the west. So our strong recommendation is you continue to monitor it with us, especially tomorrow morning and into tomorrow afternoon.
Thank you very much. That is Sabu Best, the Director of the Barbados Met Services, giving us an update on that system that is being monitored to the east of Barbados. That's it for us from us for now. Thank you very much for tuning in.